Okay, back on Engelman's. I got the blacks all done. We use a satin black to go over the undercoating. We use a hardened undercoating. Gives it the rough texture. That's what Mercedes used. Gives it a nice rough texture. It's all seam sealed. Showed you a video of that. And then I blacked it, so we got it all black. The whole underneath is done. Turned out really nice. All the seams are seam sealed. It's undercoated. Got the light in there. And then the tunnel. Got the tunnel. You can see the rough texture. It's hard to see with this video. But. And then of course from like here all the way up, you know, the whole engine compartment, frame rails, insides the fenders, all that all gets painted body color. So we'll sand this all down and then we'll paint that body color when we paint the body. Let me drop it down a minute. Kind of hard to do with a camera in your hand. Rockers are all done. Well, the inner rockers, there's a cover that goes on them yet. Those get undercoated with the same stuff, and it doesn't get painted, it just stays the undercoat. It's the way Mercedes did it, so we try to duplicate the way that Mercedes does it. Of course, the whole interior was black too, but that all gets covered with carpet. And then in some places leather, of course, on the back walls and stuff. And then the dash some of the dash gets painted body color, but we'll just spray the whole dash body cover, and then it gets leathered and the rest of the parts get over the top of it. But some of the areas you see body color, so you know, around the glove box door hole, that's body color. So I usually just spray the whole dash, and then we scuff it and leather what we got to leather. So the whole inside has been seam sealed and then blacked. It's a satin black. Turned out really nice. Wall, it's where the convertible top sets down in. That's been all seam sealed and then blacked. And then same with the trunk. Yeah, it turned out really nice too. Wow. That just stays black. I think there's a mat that goes on. I'm not sure. I think there's a mat though. Carpeting or a mat, a rubber mat, but yeah, it turned out really nice. Of course, all this has been replaced. The trunk pan, the side pans, the wheel arches, quarter panel's been replaced. Just every panel pretty much on the car has been replaced. It was a little rough, but turned out really nice. So the body's, I reprimed the body and then put the guide coat on it. I'll block it one more time and it's ready for paint. So here in the next, probably the end of this week, beginning of next week, we'll be painting it, the body color. I got a seam seal all in here yet. That ain't a big deal. I do that just before paint, then I'll sand it all out and then sand it all out, seam seal it, and then seal it, use a sealer, and then paint it body color. Because we don't paint it black, it's gotta be body color. 190s all get black on the engine compartments, but on these it's a little bit more work because you gotta make it look better because it's getting body color with a shiny. So you gotta paint the engine compartment, underneath the hood, body color. So it's just a little bit more work, but we'll get it handled. Alright, I'll get some more video of it when I get color on it. I'd like to have color on it probably by the end of the week, beginning of next week. Hopefully have color on it so I can get it back here. I usually take them to my shop to paint them, because I got a paint booth at my shop, so we usually take them to my shop and paint them. It's easier that way. But yeah, I'm happy with it. Looks good. Turned out really nice. Alright, we'll get some more video when we get color on it. Or when it's leaving here anyway. We got to put it on a cart so that we can get the rear end and the front subframe and suspension components all done. That's where he's at now. Rob's got it mostly tore apart, the front subframe. So we'll take the control arms and everything off, and get the rest of this stuff all off from here. So all this grease over the years, it just grease build up. We'll get all that off there, scrape it down, sandblast it, get everything painted. That all gets painted that satin black. So we'll get that and replace whatever has to be replaced, and then get it back in the car. And then here's the rear axle. He's got brakes and stuff off from it. We got to take it outside and pressure wash it. We'll get it pressure washed and bring it back in. He can tear it down, and then we can sandblast and paint all them components. So yeah, we'll get some more video of it when we get some more done on her. Hopefully by the end of the week we'll have some more.
We're going through the front suspension, and it's actually turning out to be a really good thing. These are his suspension mounts. You want to grab that and just pull on it? Those are supposed to be molded into the rubber, and they're not supposed to come apart. And the other one is just as bad.
Actually worse.
Worse? Yeah, there's even part of the rubber here has pulled out. So because they're shot, anyway, we got to change them. What we're going to do is we're going to peel the rubber out of this. We have a cart here designed to roll, actually it was designed to roll a 190 SL around. We have that underneath of here. We'll build an adapter, comes off the cart up to the bottom of this, and we'll bolt this back into here where it's not going to mess up any paint or anything like that they've got all painted up nicely. So the tube will come down to, somewhere in this area, keep the car up. They can roll this car around and do a variety of other work and paint and what have you. So he's already filmed the fact that he's got this all primed up. Is that a primer or a finished paint, or what is it?
That's done.
That's the finished paint? Yeah. Okay. So they're working on the front end and the rear end. And we'll be doing, yeah, we'll do a rebuild on whatever it needs. You can see there's, we don't think it needs kingpins, but we gotta check all that. Huh? One side's got some slop.
Slightly loose.
So we'll check that, but it's got to be disassembled, sandblasted, cleaned. You can't really replace seals that need to be replaced with it assembled anyway. Same thing with the rear end. You can't replace seals.
On that boot to be replaced.
Yeah. They already had to replace this tube. We showed that earlier on. It was just dissolved. It was terrible. But you can't replace rubbers and things of this nature inside of here. with this assembled, and the boot's got some weather checking and cracking in it.
And he's missing one rear spring and one rear shock.
Yeah, I mentioned that to him. We'll have to, we'll put new shocks on it, but we'll have to get him a used spring. So they're gonna spend some time modifying this cart, and so we can drop the car right down on it, bolt it on, roll it onto a trailer or in a trailer. Just make sure we don't have it so high that it won't roll up in my enclosed trailer. Let's do some measuring on that.
That ain't gonna be high.
You know, just make sure it's,
That high. They brought up a 190 in the enclosed trailer.
yeah, but not mine.
Well,
I want to make sure my door's
this one's gonna settle.
door is going to make it. So we'll get some shots of that when they get it all mounted up.
Here's Greg Engelman's primed. We got it on a stand so that we can roll it over to my shop. Paint it. Got a little bit of prime, but not much. Made the tail lights fit that groove nice and tight, like they're supposed to. So it's ready to go for paint. And then here's all the little suspension components, all the bolts, all the hardware. Sandblast them and paint them, make them look pretty again. See how nasty some of it was. Here's how bad the rest of it is, like the calipers and stuff, and the control arms are the same way. Sandblast them up. And then get them all sandblasted and cleaned, metal prepped and everything, and then we start painting them. I just ran out of paint, so I couldn't finish painting the rest of it over there, but yeah, definitely look good. They're not dry yet. They're shiny right now, but once they dry, they'll be duller. Be like a satin black, like they should be. A lot of time into tearing it all apart and painting it up nice like this, but it sure does make a difference in the long run. Makes the car look new again, you know. Alright. A lot of time into taking them apart. Cleaning them, painting them. All the little pieces. Tons of nuts and bolts. Oh, that one's got to be re-blasted. But all this stuff, a lot of this is in for the brakes and all that. Some of the washers and clips and stuff for shocks and whatnot. All the bolts. All this is all clean, sandblasted, and this stuff will all get dipped in a CAD plating. Gets all plated. Just makes the job look so much better. Alright, we'll get more.
Okay. Don't know if I had mentioned before, but we had a chrome plater locally we were using, and they took about 3 weeks to get stuff done, 3 to 4 weeks, and it worked really good for us. But this is stuff that's aluminum or brass or steel that is shot and needs to be replaced. Or it costs more to chrome them than it does to replace them. I'm not sure about these headlight pieces, but they're dinged up, pitted. We could polish them up, but they're not going to be as nice as the other chrome on the car. These windshield moldings are aluminum, and they were pulled off and kinked a little bit. You can see that they're not the shape of the windshield any longer. Some of that can be straightened, but they're just not nice. These are the aluminum sill pieces that you kick your feet on when you get in the car, and they're bent and scuffed and nasty. This one here looks like it was just ripped off the car. It's bent up really bad. Screws are ripped right through the holes. One of these is the inner and the other is the outer. This obviously is supposed to be flat, and this is one of the sill moldings. Aluminum moldings on the outside of the car. Never going to get them cleaned up. Replace those. Right here. So we're going to get a full set of those. This is one of the front bumpers. Tap on this and it just a hole straight through it. The other bumper is thin and rusty in different spots. But again, it costs more to chrome these than to buy the reproductions made in Korea. So we'll put a new set of bumpers on. New set of the side moldings. These were brass with a rubber insert. We can buy a full set cheaper than we can replate the old ones. Now the trim rings here are beat up pretty bad. The hubcaps are not beat up bad, but tarnished. We're going to attempt to polish up and buff the hubcaps out, save them, because Mercedes is on drugs and they want about $350 or $400 a piece just for the hubcaps. And they come bare, and then you got to paint them. So we're going to see if we can save those. We'll put new trim rings on. This is stuff we're going to clean and polish up. This one here, one of these tabs has snapped completely off. So I'm going to see if I can find a used one. These are the crank handles for the windows, and the pads are all destroyed and cracked. So we're going to attempt to get new ones, and these pads I think come with them. I think only 2 colors are available now. This is another one of the side moldings that we're going to change. Some of these moldings, this one here holds the door seal on, and I believe they're reproduced in Europe, so I'm going to get a set of these 2 pieces. These we're going to attempt to clean up, polish up what we can. If not, we got to find a chrome plater that isn't crazy behind and can get the stuff done reasonably quick. This pile here, we don't think are going to polish up nice enough to use, and will have to be plated. Like I said, we just lost our chrome plater, or these would have been in there already to get done. And that's kind of messing us up because we're getting late in the year. Customer would like his car, and now we have plating that we can't bring to our plater because they closed their doors. So it's kind of messing us up a little bit. There's a raft of pieces in these boxes that don't even go to this car. This is a Volkswagen or a Porsche piece. We don't know what those are. There's extra pieces here for a hardtop, and his hardtop looks complete still, so not sure there. We'll tackle that here shortly. These are the chrome pieces that go up the windshield post, and we'll polish those up. We have the convertible top frame that we're going to take apart here shortly, and it has some chrome on it, and we have to determine, can we polish that up or do we have to send that chrome out. We're going to do that this week yet. I think we filmed this already, but these are parts off the front suspension and the rear suspension. Been bead blasted and primed and painted, and then they will be assembled with new parts as necessary. For sure we'll put like seals and things like that and new rubbers, but if it doesn't need bushings or other parts, we'll just use the old ones and clean them up and put new seals on them. So this is where we're at this point. We're going to start sourcing. We have a lot of this stuff in stock, but some of these other pieces we're going to try and source from Europe that we know that we have to have. So we'll get some shots here as we get some of this stuff polished up and see if we can't save it.
What do you mean?
All right, we got a lot of this polished up.
Well, always will, always will. Because especially.
Some of it came out really, really nice.
If that was all, I don't know where it goes. I think that goes where your foot is.
Well, this is that trim that goes up by your kick panel.
Okay. But it's all it's not gouged, but it's all scratched way up. You can't.
That's a door
You can't
piece.
buff that up.
It goes on the door.
Does this go on the door or does it go on the kick panel by your
On the
feet?
door.
So it holds the door trim panel on?
Yep.
It's kind of scuffed up.
No, it's long ones right through
These,
the door. Yeah.
they clean up fair, but they're,
And this one goes on the door.
I'll talk to the customer about plating. Whether he wants it just, I guess people call it patina. Whether he wants a little patina.
I don't see. Yeah, these are kick panel.
Some of these have dents in them. We do have these new. One side of his is decent, the other side had a big dent in it. Huh? Yeah, it'll cost more to plate it than to buy new ones. And those have been reproduced in Poland, so we do have some in stock. We have a full set of these too. There's a 4 or 6 piece set that holds the rubber down. And these have got holes rusted clean through them. This one's not as bad as the other one. Right here. It's got holes rotted right through, and the back side is pretty nasty. This will never clean up properly, so I have a new set of those. These are quite pitted. I don't know if we can buy those new.
Just like the mirror looks good, but it's just full of pits.
Yeah, we call that age patina.
Right.
We'll video all this and let the customer
Decide, yeah.
kind of decide. The battery's about dead, it's flashing, so
Oh, better
let's
hurry.
try and get through this here.
Like these turned out really nice. Those look good.
That looks
I think it's-
that looks really good.
Yeah.
There's very minor scratches in it.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you something, if you had that replated, these may
This
fill
one-
in.
yeah, this
I
one
don't
will
think
look
that
good.
would look as nice.
But all of that style turned out pretty good, except for this one has this rash kind of to it. But
Yeah.
I think that'll be okay.
Yeah, I agree. So we'll get a hold of him. Most of what we see here is going to be nice. The door handles came out presentable. Most of these little trinkets came out really nice. These have been reproduced, but he does not need them.
I don't think he needs those either.
You know,
There's a lot of little stuff I think that has to be done.
these, as I said, we found a new
Yeah,
set.
we got them. But did you do these?
We have these in
Door
new with
handles?
black.
It's kind of rough.
That's pretty rough, but we'll ask him what he wants to do there, because I think those are available new.
Oh, okay. All right. Turn this way.
These really need to be plated. They're just scuffed all to pieces. They've even got, you couldn't see this, of course, until you polish it all up. And now that we've lost the chrome plater that did things quickly for us, we're probably should have gotten all this ready a long time ago. But we had a good plater that was
Quick.
pretty darn quick. He was only like 35 miles away, and they just closed their doors, and I just tried to get a hold of them yesterday to see if they would be willing to try, do a few items, and their phone number's already been given out to another business, so that's not a good sign. All right, we already showed this before. All that's going to be put on new.
Yeah.
It's bent and twisted, there's holes rotted through it. So we've already got this set aside, we have those in stock. So we'll get this video off to the customer here so we can have a discussion about chrome. And we'll make some phone calls and see if we can find someone here within the state that can actually tackle this. Okay. Greg, I'm just walking through the shop, heading back to your car. I wanted to show you. These are fender flares we make for the 914 Porsche. There's a factory pair of the four. These are how they're run, duals. That's the die. This is the press we just had put in because the other one broke down. This is another press that we have for making parts. These are 911, 912 rear suspension pans. There's a saw, radial arm drill, lathe in the corner. Small press brake we're going to put in. Multi-axis laser that'll cut flat or 5-axis. Here's your mirror. Don't know if you want this re-chromed or not. It's not shot, but you would have some decent pitting going on here and pitting going on in the...
If all your chrome around it is new.
Huh?
So if all the chrome around that is new, it's going to look good.
Yeah. But we had to take it apart anyway because your lenses, there is no fixing that, Rob.
No, I just cleaned it up. It's gonna get...
It was all covered with debris and stuff, even on the inside. But your reflector is coming off. The reflective coating. Does that lens clean up?
This will, yeah. This is a piece of
Is this the
glass.
one that was the most dirty?
Well, the inside of this was all dirty.
Inside of that, I cleaned the outside. It didn't make any difference. Or cigar.
Or cigar.
Okay, well, we're going to try and get this video. I tacked this on to the end of the video that my son's going to send, so we'll go ahead and send him that. I'll get this off to him today, and I'll let you know tomorrow. He'll look at it right away. These are moldings that go across the windshield frame, and you're going to see them. We'll clean them up, but we started cleaning them up, and the tarnish and the deep scratches obviously aren't going to go away. Leave these border your convertible top closure cover, which is real visible, and it's got dents as well as very scratchy. These are real visible. They go up your windshield pillars, and we've tried to clean them. They don't clean up. This is holds in your door panel on your door on both sides, and that's going to be visible, and you're going to have new leather and new chrome in other areas. I don't think you're going to want that. I believe this borders area of the dash, and although this one's nice, some of the others that go with it are not. They aren't going to clean up very well, and they're dented, and you can't just do one piece. This one here is quite tarnished and it's dented. We may try to fix that a little bit before it goes out for plating, but they're probably going to have to flash copper that and then let it in, then file it down and then plate it. This just does not clean up. We can disassemble that. The other moldings that border this back there are going to be new, because you got one that's kind of smashed on one side, and I think it costs more to re-chrome the ones you have than it does to buy new ones. These are the ones that go across the top of your door. This is another one. There's two of these. They go vertically up and they hold like a kick panel or something on it. This is visible from inside the car. But there should be a right and left of this. And I don't know where the other one, oh, right here. So we'll be doing two of those and two of the long ones that are that profile for the doors right here. So this batch here, not including the mirror, you said you put a couple small pieces plus the mirror in here after that?
Yeah, I did these here. Because these go up to that, don't they?
I think these come up to that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
these come up to that, and if you're gonna chrome this, you can't leave that all
Right.
tarnished and nasty. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a tentative estimate, not including those two pieces and the mirror, of $1,700 or $1,800. By the time freight and all is involved a couple ways, it's gonna be like $2,000. So I'm gonna guess, we're gonna get this video off to you first, get your approval, and then if we send these down, it could hit $2,500 because they're pretty good sized pieces that are extra, but we'll know. It's one of the premier platers in the country. They don't send stuff back that's junk.
Right. You don't ever
But you're gonna be replacing several thousands other dollars worth of chrome that just can't be plated for that kind of price. So anyway, just I know you're in Florida, so just to give you an idea of what our weather is doing today. This is since last night. Actually, this started this morning, about 2 hours ago. So,
It started about 6 o'clock, to be honest, but
we'll get this off to you right now so you can decide what we want to do. There will be, well, this isn't even for his car. Are these his headlights?
yeah.
They do look intact though, don't they? If we get new chrome lenses.
Broke on it.
Huh?
There is one spot of the glass that's broke.
The other thing is, do you want the shifter straight?
Well, that seal, the seal will kind of seal that up, won't it?
What seal?
Isn't there a seal that goes
Oh.
under the glass? It
Yeah,
doesn't
but
let
if you
water
look
in.
at it, the seal, there's a gap in it. See, it's supposed to go like that.
Oh, so the glass broke.
Yeah, the glass.
Where the clip goes.
Yeah.
All right, he's going to want a seal. If he gets caught in the rain, that'll just blow water right in there.
Sealing and do diddly squat.
If he puts a new glass on, I mean, a new lens.
Yeah, yep.
All right, so there's a number on this lens that identifies it. You see how that lens has an arch?
Yep.
Some of them are flat.
Oh,
And this number that's at the bottom here, the 305-630-067, that Bosch number, we convert that to a Mercedes number. And they're both the same right and
does
left.
it have a Bosch on it?
If the manufacturer is Bosch, we can convert it to the number. If it's Hella, it may not have the Bosch on it. So we just got to look and see what we have.
Hallelujah.
I was going to ask you about that shifter. Isn't that supposed to be straight?
Yep. But, do you want it straight? I like them bent like that.
Well,
The only bitch about it is this one's bent this way, which is nice.
it's bent towards the
But
passenger.
it's bent towards the passenger too, which is not nice.
All right, so here's what we'll do. I'll send the video to him today. I'm going to guess that the bent towards the driver, towards the back of the car is okay. I'm going to guess this bend this way is not,
Right.
but I'll get that from him. And then we'll straighten that and leave this most likely, okay?
Yeah.
And then
Whatever you want.
from this line up, you want to plate it.
I just like it better because then it's
Yeah,
down
from the
lower. You
plate
know what I
line
mean?
up.
It's easier.
Okay. Anything else? Well, I got Oop, I
It's
lost
not
it.
gonna be,
Anything else while I got this running?
Bonus.
Okay,